Looks like we're good. You said, Amy?
Not yet. Okay.
Good? Okay. That was not a very reassuring nod. All right, let's do this. Let's call this meeting to order, and let's begin by saying the Pledge of Allegiance.
Right. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Let's recess into solid waste.
Move to approve the minutes of June 25th, 2020.
I will second.
Roll call, Amy?
Vicky,
Yes.
Sabrina,
Yes.
Kathleen.
Yes.
Move to approve the July 2nd, 2020 bills as presented by the county auditor.
I will second.
Roll call, Amy?
Yes.
Sabrina,
Yes.
Kathleen.
Yes.
Move to approve the July 2nd, 2020 then and now certification as presented by the county auditor.
I will second.
Roll call, Amy?
Vicky,
Yes.
Sabrina,
Yes.
Kathleen.
Yes. Did we do the journal vouchers?
No.
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 We think we
that,
skipped it.
Vicky B.
I will make a
Yeah.
motion to approve the July 2nd, 2020 journal vouchers as presented by the county auditor.
Second.
Roll call, Amy?
Sabrina,
Yes.
Vicky,
Yes.
Kathleen.
Yes. All right, Bill, on to 7684 Clio.
Yes, you have a memo for me with pictures. Clearly, this house is not inhabitable. The owner has asked to be removed from the fees for recycling services. As you well know, I drive out to these properties in question, take pictures, assess the situation, and I would have to agree that this house is not inhabitable. So my recommendation would be to do a journal entry to remove them from the services or the fees.
You know, Bill, I looked them up on the website and they've got a tax bill coming to that address.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a property tax, Vicky, or you know what, but yeah, as I do more and more of these things, I know there's one down here on Mogador Road across from the VFW that you can clearly see holes through the roof. You know, and it's been like that for the 13 years I've worked here. And
Wow.
I don't know what the owner plans on doing with that property, but I'm assuming they're still paying their taxes.
So is anyone living there, Bill, at all?
No,
I wonder if the
No, I
land
think
bank-
I didn't look at the property tax records, but obviously you can see by the pictures, somebody's mowing the yard to keep it down.
Wow.
So I don't know.
Yeah, they've got annual tax of $586.95 and it's supposedly mailed to that address.
Wow.
Wow, that's right.
Yeah, that's,
So since Todd was involved, do we have water and sewer there? Because I
No.
know.
I don't think so. Where Clio Avenue is at, it's off of Alta in Twin Lakes.
Yeah.
And
43.
yeah, literally the road in front of this residence is gravel. I think Franklin Township dumps gravel there every once in a while because literally the road is in a swamp.
Wow.
Yeah, because when I did the aerial view, if you go past this house, the road is like has a big pond in it. I
Right.
mean, it's because it butts up to
Yeah.
the lake, but yeah,
Yeah,
I
there's
can see
houses
that.
on each side of this residence.
I know.
But yeah, it was an interesting trip.
It almost almost looks like it was like a little shed and they added on to it or
It
something.
could have been, or maybe something like a summer cottage or something like that.
Yeah,
back in the
maybe.
day.
Uh,
So
I
Bill,
just,
could you put that journal entry on our agenda for next time?
Yes.
Okay.
yeah.
And
Is there
then,
any-
did you have anything on Brimfield?
Yeah, just briefly, as you're all aware, Brimfield did vote 2-1 to accept our latest offer. I have forwarded a draft copy of a contract that was reviewed by Chris Maduri. It's my understanding that Brimfield has their attorney reviewing it, just comparing the old one versus the new one, which really there wasn't really much changing other than the dates and the term and the rates. So basically, I know yesterday in their meeting, the question came up, even though we don't have a signed agreement yet, whether or not we're going to continue service. I think it's clear that they want to continue. So it's my recommendation to the board that the next week of service will be July 6th. What I will do, what I'm proposing to do is send the trustees and then copy Gene on an email, letting them know that we will continue service. The next full week of service will be July 6th, asking them to notify their residents, and we'll post it on our website and Facebook page today.
And that way they're not missing.
No, there will be no interruption in service.
Mm.
Okay, good. I think that makes sense.
Good.
And it's a good practice, I would think, to double check the
Right.
contract and.
Yeah, exactly. I agree, because I figured they would do that. I would do that before I present any contract to the board.
Right.
So I would
Okay.
imagine their next meeting's on the 17th. Hopefully by then, they have it ready to go. They sign it, and then I will bring it, or I'll present it to the board for your acceptance and signature then.
Okay.
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 Great.
All right,
Did you want to add anything?
that's it. Short and sweet to the point.
Okay.
Just have a great long holiday and enjoy the weather.
You too, Bill.
Thank
so
you.
much.
Have a great day, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
Move to adjourn solid waste?
I will second.
Roll call, Amy.
Vicky,
Yes.
Sabrina,
Yes.
Kathleen.
Yes. All right, we will reconvene our general session, and we will start with the Fairlane Water Company project and public informational webinar discussion. Gene.
This is an update. Back several months ago, Fairlane Water Company received notice of violation from the Ohio EPA. The current owner of the Fairlane Water Company no longer wants to operate, which leaves all 118 property owners out there with the option of drilling wells or finding an alternative public water supply. We did some initial analysis and then updated it. And in every case, the local well drilling, 118 new wells, is probably going to be the least expensive. And then 3 or 4 weeks ago, a new player came to town who is offering to take ownership and update the plant to current EPA standards, which is a good thing for the residents, and because of prevailing wage and all the other issues that we're going to have to face, that they will be able to deal with in a different manner. I'll leave it at that. The simple fact of the matter is they can do it at about 50 cents on a dollar to us. Right now, we did receive a $1.7 million grant from the Ohio EPA to do an interconnect. And that interconnect would go from the Brimfield Route 18 all the way down 43, across 224 and back to the development. That was about a $7 million investment. We were hoping to get considerably higher, like maybe half of that on principal forgiveness, but what we got was a second in the list, and so we did not get anywhere close. Roughly, we got 25% paid. So the bottom line is we're recommending that we return that money to the EPA so somebody else who is in need of it can use it. The other piece is that we, in the event that this current deal does fall through with the private company, that we would just go forward with where we left off with the beginning of COVID-19 and start a public meeting to find out what their individual property owners really want, which is where we left it with the board last time we talked, having a public meeting to find out what their desire was. So hopefully it's a win-win for everybody. The other piece is the company would like for Portage County to do the billing for them. We already bill all the customers for sewer, so it would be an added line. And talking with Todd Bragg, he says it's very easy to do. We just have to be absolutely certain, because it's a private entity, that we do not absorb any costs for doing that. So that's something we're gonna have to sit down and figure out with some specificity, that we don't undercharge and then it would appear that we're providing benefit to a private company. That's not the intent. We'll have to see how that plays out. Right now, every bill goes out is charged $2.25. I'm not saying that's the number, but that's just a ballpark. So we'll have to figure that out. Our walkaways are really a journal entry to return the money to the EPA, a journal entry to discuss the billing process, and the third one, if this falls apart, to go ahead and proceed with a public meeting.
Jean, how many additional bills are we talking about with Fair Lanes?
It's the same. We have 118 bills we send out. Every water customer for the drinking water side is a wastewater customer for water.
Yeah.
So it's one-to-one.
Okay. All right.
If please pass along a thank you to Tia. This is a very thorough and helpful memo, as usual, from your department, but we appreciate all of the work that went into this to get to where we're at a private sale position, but it does seem like the best scenario. But thanks for all the work that the department put into this, and a special shout out to Tia for preparing this very helpful summary for us of all the work that you guys did.
We'll pass that on, definitely.
Thank you.
And then there are 5 resolutions, all of which are pretty much standard.
Yeah, these all look like they're for Oakwood, Jean. Most of these.
2 of them are in Oakwood.
Okay.
One of them is in Ravenna. Actually, 3 of them are in Oakwood, one's in Ravenna. Yes.
Okay. But bulk. Okay.
Move that the Board of Commissioners approves a request from Mary Louise Schuler for installment payments of connection charges for connections to the sanitary sewage system in the Portage County Regional Sewer District, and establishing the terms and conditions of the same.
Okay, I will second.
Roll call, Amy?
Vicky,
Yes.
Sabrina,
Yes.
Kathleen.
Yes.
Move that the Board of Commissioners approves a request from Shirley Farnsworth for installment payments of connection charges for connections to the sanitary sewage system in the Portage County Regional Sewer District, and establishing the terms and conditions of the same.
Okay, I will second.
Roll call, Amy?
Vicky,
Yes.
Sabrina,
Yes.
Kathleen.
Yes.
Move that the Board of Commissioners approves a request from John C. Masick Jr. for installment payments of connection charges for connections to the sanitary sewage system in the Portage County Regional Sewer District, and establishing the terms and conditions of the same.
I will second.
Roll call, Amy?
Vicky,
Yes.
Sabrina,
Yes.
Kathleen.
Yes.
Move that the Board of Commissioners approves a request from Lee M. Weinsheimer for installment payments of connection charges for connections to the sanitary sewage system in the Portage County Regional Sewer District, and establishing the terms and conditions of the same.
Okay, I will second.
Roll call, Amy?
Vicky,
Yes.
Sabrina,
Yes.
Kathleen.
Yes.
Move that the Board of Commissioners approves a request from Jason Laney and Shauna Laney for installment payments of connection charges for connections to the sanitary sewage system in the Portage County Regional Sewer District, and establishing the terms and conditions of the same.
Okay, I will second.
Roll call, Amy?
Vicky,
Yes.
Sabrina,
Yes.
Kathleen.
Yes.
Move that the Board of Commissioners approve Portage County Water Resources to officially decline the $1.7 million in principal forgiveness from Ohio EPA's water supply revolving loan account, given the increased demand for county water reserve funds to support the Brimfield Public Water Extension Project to support the Fairlane Water Company customers.
Okay, I will second.
Roll call, Amy?
Vicky,
Yes.
Sabrina,
Yes.
Kathleen.
Yes.
Move that the Board of Commissioners approve Portage County Water Resources to evaluate providing water billing services to Donmark Water Systems should they take ownership of the Fairlane Water Company.
Okay, I will second.
Roll call, Amy?
Vicky,
Yes.
Sabrina,
Yes.
Kathleen.
Yes.
Move that the Board of Commissioners approve Portage County Water Resources to schedule a public informational meeting or video meeting with the Fairlane Water Company should Dynamark Water Systems not proceed with ownership of the Fairlane Water Company.
I will second.
Roll call, Amy?
Vicky,
Yes.
Sabrina,
Yes.
Kathleen.
Yes. Okay, great. Man, right on cue. Can you hear us, Sue?
She's muted. There we go.
Can
Now,
you hear us,
good?
Sue?
All right, sorry, it always takes a few minutes to get it to go.
That's
How's
okay.
everybody doing this morning?
Good.
Great, how are you?
Excited for a long weekend?
Yeah, although
Yeah.
everyone should stay home.
I know. It's
I'm
getting a
doing
little
yard
scary.
work.
Yeah. Yeah, well, except it's gonna be 90 degrees, so.
Yeah, that's true. Do
You
it
can work
early.
till 8 o'clock in the morning and after midnight, you'll be good.
Yeah, before noon.
Yeah. Okay, well, I've only got one today and it's our normal monthly mandated share. The amount is a little bit different because this is the new state fiscal year. I provided the yearly breakdown to Jean and to Todd and the letters from ODJFS to show the total yearly amount. So this is for the month of July, commissioners' support for mandated share from commissioners to public assistance fund in the amount of $30,680.58.
Okay.
Okay, move that the Board of Commissioners agrees to transfer 30,680.58 from Fund 0001 General Fund to Fund 1410 Public Assistance Fund.
Okay, I will second.
Roll call, Amy?
Vicky,
Yes.
Sabrina,
Yes.
Kathleen.
Yes. Thank you very much, Sue.
Thank you,
We
guys.
appreciate you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Yeah, you too.
Enjoy
Have a
your
great
weekend.
weekend. Mhm,
You
bye-bye.
too. Huh.
All right, let's stand it. Is Todd coming? We have him in the waiting.
No.
Okay, let's stand at ease for a moment while we wait for Todd to join us.
Yeah, he did send the bill run. It's in our emails. If you haven't seen it.
Looks like Todd's here
Yeah.
and Chris.
Hello. You guys ready?
Hello.
Good morning, Todd. We are ready for you when you are. And we have your email.
Yeah, you got the email. So again, fairly normal numbers, kind of in the middle range of what we usually see. There's no late fees. The then and nows are way down. And there's not too much to comment on unless you guys have a question.
No, other than I noticed the then and nows were really low.
Yeah,
That's
our
good.
goal, this time of year, that should be the case. One of our goals in the October, November, we put out a notice. Our goal might be to try and have them not spike like they did this year. This year, we had some really, really high ones early in the year. It's expected to go up some, but this is fairly normal now for this time of year that we should have fairly low.
Okay.
Okay, move that the Board of Commissioners agrees to approve the Thursday, July 2nd, 2020 bills, ACH payments as presented by the county auditor and reviewed by the Department of Budget and Finance Management.
Okay, I will second.
Roll call, Amy?
Vicky,
Yes.
Sabrina,
Yes.
Kathleen.
Yes.
Move that the Board of Commissioners agrees to approve the Thursday, July 2nd, 2020 wire transfers for health benefits as presented by the county auditor and reviewed by the Department of Budget and Financial Management.
Okay, I will second.
Roll call, Amy?
Vicky,
Yes.
Sabrina,
Yes.
Kathleen.
Yes.
Move that the Board of Commissioners agrees to approve the Thursday, July 2nd, 2020 journal vouchers as presented by the county auditor and reviewed by the Department of Budget and Financial Management.
Okay, I will second.
Roll call, Amy?
Vicky,
Yes.
Sabrina,
Yes.
Kathleen.
Yes.
Move that the Board of Commissioners agrees to approve the Thursday, July 2nd, 2020 then and now certification as presented by the county auditor and reviewed by the Department of Budget and Financial Management.
Okay, I will second.
Roll call, Amy?
Vicky,
Yes.
Sabrina,
Yes.
Kathleen.
Yes.
Move that the Board of Commissioners agrees to amend the non-general fund 2020 annual appropriation resolution number 19-0948 adopted December 19th, 2019.
And actually,
Todd.
this is not approved.
Yeah, that got removed.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we just have the journal entries?
Correct. And these are just standard satisfactions from your revolving loan programs.
Okay.
Okay.
Move that the Board of Commissioners signature requested on the satisfaction of mortgage form for Vera Savoli, 1267 Vantage Way, Streetsboro, Ohio, 44241, to secure payment of $26,760. The original document will be recorded by Neighborhood Development Services, Inc.
I will second.
Roll call, Amy?
Vicky,
Yes.
Sabrina,
Yes.
Kathleen.
Yes.
Move that the Board of Commissioners signature requested on the satisfaction of mortgage form for Vera Savoli, 1267 Vantage Way, Streetsboro, Ohio, 44241, to secure payment of $2,532.27. The original document will be recorded by Neighborhood Development Services, Inc.
Okay, I will second.
Roll call, Amy?
Vicky,
Yes.
Sabrina,
Yes.
Kathleen.
Yes.
Move that the Board of Commissioners signature requested on the satisfaction of mortgage form for Vera Savoli, 1267 Vantage Way, Streetsboro, Ohio, 44241, to secure payment of $1,000. The original document will be recorded by Neighborhood Development Services, Inc.
Okay, I will second.
Roll call, Amy?
Vicky,
Yes.
Sabrina,
Yes.
Kathleen.
Yes.
And that's all that I had.
Thanks, Todd.
Thanks, Todd.
Thank you, Todd.
Bye.
Have a good weekend.
Thank you too.
All right,
Joanne's not on.
for a moment.
Hi, good morning.
Good
you're
morning,
here, Joanne.
Joanne.
I just have two resolutions for you today. The first resolution where you see it's the custom iPhone and Android mobile application is the renewal of the WEN system that we have with EMA that notifies people on whatever manner that you have, your cell phone, your telephone in your office. You can have it roll to your home. This is a renewal. It's just been the same amount every time we've renewed. So it's not even an increase.
Move that the Board of Commissioners agrees to enter into an agreement for the development of a custom iPhone and Android mobile application for emergency management related information between the Portage County Board of Commissioners on behalf of the Portage County Emergency Management Agency and OCV LLC.
Okay, I will second.
Roll call, Amy.
Vicky,
Yes.
Sabrina,
Yes, there's just a correction. It should just be LLC. There's an extra L in there. I don't know. I think it's okay though on the document.
It is.
So,
Roll call.
yeah.
Yes. Did we
Oh,
vote?
me, yes. Okay. Second resolution, Joanne.
That is for Job and Family Service. It's a renewal for 1 year with PARTA for transportation services for the people that they serve. This is the next renewal period. When we did the original RFPs, we allowed for renewals for certain years. So this one's going from May 1st of 2020 through April 30th of 2021.
Okay.
Move that the Board of Commissioners agrees to enter into amendment number 4 for transportation services between the Board of Commissioners on behalf of Portage County Job and Family Services and Portage Area Regional Transportation Authority.
Okay, I will second.
Roll call, Amy.
Vicky,
Yes.
Sabrina,
Yes.
Kathleen.
Yes.
Amy, did we get a roll call on that first resolution? I don't know if it broke up because I don't remember saying yes for it.
I thought you said it first before, but we can do it again if,
I said a second, but well, I asked the question and I said second, and then I didn't hear a roll call. So, did we?
Have a roll call?
we can do it again, just to be sure. I'm sorry. So this was
Okay.
the iPhone, Android.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Vicky,
Yes.
Sabrina,
Yes.
Kathleen.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you all.
Thank you,
Joanne.
Thanks, Joanne.
Have a safe holiday.
You too.
You too.
Bye.
I'm gonna look for Janet. Hi, Janet.
Morning, Janet.
Hi, everyone.
We are ready for you, Janet, on your first item.
Okay. You want to talk about the journal entries first or the draft policy? I just have journal entries besides the draft.
Yeah, let's talk about the draft policy.
Okay.
Did that get added? Because I didn't see that we added it to there. I'll have to pull it back up.
I had just sent the draft late yesterday afternoon.
Okay.
So I don't know.
Okay, I
An
can pull it up.
overview, Janet.
I'm sorry.
Could you give us an overview?
Oh, yeah. Originally, this policy was adopted on May 19th after Governor DeWine's press conference that day, lifting the requirement, mandating a 14-day quarantine for those who return back to Ohio from domestic travel. Since then, we've had a few cases where employees have gone on vacation and have either came back, unfortunately testing positive for COVID, or we've even had situations where employees, they have stayed with somebody on vacation that is now testing positive. So this was brought to our attention a few days ago. And so we were just looking at, possibly revising the COVID travel policy to possibly mandate a quarantine for employees coming back from vacation from domestic travel. Now, the CDC is still mandating a 14-day quarantine for those who travel internationally and cruise travel. So that has not changed. That's still a 14-day quarantine, really just the domestic travel. If we want to consider, looking at a quarantine period for those that are coming back into the state from out-of-state travel. And we have a few options that are listed there in the draft. Because either someone could possibly telework. If that's not possible, then maybe we could try to figure out, work with the department director. Is there some way where they could do some type of isolated work somehow in the building that they don't come in contact with anyone, they're still isolated. If that is not possible, then the employee would need to use either vacation, personal, some kind of paid leave. And again, if that wouldn't work, then they could go on leave without pay, without discipline. We would not discipline them for going on leave without pay. And this is all if they're not sick. Obviously, if they're sick themselves with COVID, that would be a different story. They would either follow the sick leave policy or possibly the Family First Coronavirus Act, the emergency sick leave, 80 hours that they would get.
But this is just a hypothetical. This is not that they've experienced any symptoms. They've been around someone positively with COVID. This is just a precautionary.
Yeah, it's more of a precaution, really. And it really came from a suggestion from one of the department directors. The department director actually can have their employees telework, based on the telework policy that was adopted on March 16th.
Mm-hmm.
Because right now, because the state is not mandating a quarantine period for those, unless they're sick, that's, like I said, that's completely different. But if they're coming back just as a precaution, Governor DeWine, he lifted that requirement to
quarantine. And I know we've been sort of following suit with the state, and I know Governor DeWine has a big thing at 2:00 today. I would like to wait and see what he comes up with before implementing something like this, because to me, it just seems punitive that just because you went somewhere doesn't necessarily mean if they can't telework, they don't have vacation. I mean, so if you take a 1-week vacation, you basically, if you can't telework, have to use 3 weeks of vacation if you don't have that option, or you can't work in isolation. Yeah. I would not be, at least at this point, I'd rather wait and see what happens today, see if the governor changes it and follow suit, versus it's like going backwards.
I think we're in agreement. We've actually reached out to the Portage County Board of Health, and they're working on with us, is 14 days reasonable or is 7 better? Because most people present in 5.5 days. We're looking at what options we have, as well as other counties that are actually stepping up and filling that void, saying that their employees coming back have to do some form of social distancing more than just 6 foot. So it's still a draft, and we wanted input really more than anything else.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that this is something that we should definitely consider just for the safety of our employees. The governor has not taken some steps that other local officials are proactively taking. And I think that at the suggestion of our departments, that this be something that we consider to increase our safety level for our employees and for the public. And I think too, the health department is also considering adopting a policy like this. And this is in part because of vacation spots that have become hot spots, and states like Florida, for example, where they've had a large increase in positive cases. So
now see, I disagree, because Cleveland's a hot spot and Mahoning County is a hot spot. So we have employees that work in both those areas or live in both those areas and work for us. So how is that any different? I mean, this is all
it's a level of precaution. I mean, we can't protect from every single COVID case, for sure. You make a good point, but we can do something. We can't just throw our hands up and say, well, then we can't do anything. I think that would be a mistake.
And I know the health department brought out just what you also said, Commissioner Bennett. There is hotspots in Ohio. So one of the things we'd be looking at before we come back is, if you go someplace, is there a process you need to say, I'm going to vacation in Cleveland? Okay, then you need this extra time. Those are the things we're looking at, because you're right. One broad brush does not cover everything, but something should be done.
Yeah. Well, I would like to think about this a little bit more. Can we table this to next week then? Because I contacted
we
Chris
weren't going to take action on it this week. It was a discussion.
Yeah, because I had contacted Chris Maduri. Yeah, well, I had contacted Chris Maduri on Kelly Jo's request, and basically the way the policy is written now, each director actually has that latitude to work something out with their employees if there's a concern, without having to change our policy at this point.
Yeah, thank you for your work on this, Jean, as well, and talking to the health department. I'm glad we're looking at ways to continue to keep our employees safe and also be responsive to our directors and their concerns with oversight of large staffs. So let's keep monitoring this and look at bringing it back for action next week. And we may see some further action at the state level, as well, as cases are really, unfortunately, on the increase around the country and in Ohio.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Yeah. All right.
And we can move
Thanks, Janet.
to the journal entries.
Move that the Board of Commissioners agree to authorize the full-time hire of Eric Aguirre as a MIS coordinator, replacing the position previously held by David Moore for Portage County Job and Family Services. Anticipated start date is July 20, 2020. The Board of Commissioners agree that this hire is contingent upon the applicant passing the required pre-employment testing.
Okay, I will second.
Roll call, Amy.
Vicky,
Yes.
Sabrina,
Yes.
Kathleen.
Yes. Can we pause for just a second? I need to close my windows.
Sure. That's why I closed my windows. It's like all of a sudden the garbage trucks are going by.
I have that nice protected coating on my office windows that shields the sun.
It's nice to hear the birds chirping though. That's
All right. Sorry, guys.
Okay. Move that the Board of Commissioners accepts the resignation of Susan Barker, Social Service Worker 3, effective July 3rd, 2020.
I will second.
Roll call, Amy.
Vicky,
Yes.
Sabrina,
Yes.
Kathleen.
Yes.
Move that the Board of Commissioners agree to authorize the 3-day internal posting of the full-time Social Service Worker 3, replacing Susan Barker for Portage County Job and Family Services with external posting if no internal appointment is made. The vacant posting will be posted once the hiring freeze in the Children's Services Division is lifted.
Okay, I will second.
Roll call, Amy?
Vicky,
Yes.
Sabrina,
Yes.
Kathleen.
Yes.
Move that the Board of Commissioners accept the resignation of Alyssa Lane, Social Service Worker 3, effective June 26, 2020.
Okay, I will second.
Roll call, Amy?
Vicky,
Yes.
Sabrina,
Yes.
Kathleen.
Yes.
Move that the Board of Commissioners agree to authorize the 3-day internal posting of the full-time Social Service Worker 3, replacing Alyssa Lane for Portage County Job and Family Services with external posting if no internal appointment is made. The vacant posting will be posted once the hiring freeze in the Children's Services Division is lifted.
Okay, I will second.
Roll call, Amy?
Vicky,
Yes.
Sabrina,
Yes.
Kathleen.
Yes.
Move that the Board of Commissioners accepts the resignation of Laura Esposito, PCSA Supervisor, effective July 3, 2020.
Okay, I will second.
Roll call, Amy?
Vicky,
Yes.
Sabrina,
Yes.
Kathleen.
Yes.
Move that the Board of Commissioners agree to authorize the 3-day internal posting of the full-time PCSA Supervisor, replacing Laura Esposito for Portage County Job and Family Services with external posting if no internal appointment is made. The vacant posting will be posted once the hiring freeze in the Children's Services Division is lifted.
Okay, I will second.
Roll call, Amy?
Vicky,
Yes.
Sabrina,
Yes.
Kathleen.
Yes.
Move that the Board of Commissioners authorizes the Portage County Health District to host a flu clinic at the Administration Building, offering flu vaccinations to all Portage County employees. The cost of each vaccine is regular flu, $30, high dose, $65, Prevnar, $200 over 65, pneumonia vax, $125 over age 55 or with medical necessity. Funding for this expense is available in the Employee Benefit Fund. The flu clinic will be coordinated by the Human Resources Department.
Okay, I will second that with a correction. The Prevnar is $260, not $200.
Oh, didn't I
Roll call,
say
Amy.
60?
Yeah, it's okay.
Vicky,
Yes.
Sabrina,
Yes.
Kathleen.
Yes. Before we do executive session, let's do our miscellaneous items quickly so we can close with that.
Okay.
So Janet, Chris, just hold tight. This should be brief. Thank you. So first up, Jean, this was a discussion item. We had talked about the formation of a work group to look at the CARES funding allocation that the county received, along with our FEMA public assistance funding application. And, you know, you, I think Ryan, Todd, Joanne, make sense to look into all of the possibilities for us to utilize those funds and work with departments and report back to us. But give me your thoughts if you think that would be a good way to move forward. That would be my recommendation.
I'm in agreement. This was partially discussed, at least briefly, in the previous communications with EMA, but I think it needs to be a standing working group because this is still very dynamic. We hear communities to the northwest of us doing one thing and a community down south doing another, and we're not sure any of them hold water or will pass mustard. So we need to stay as fluid as possible in order to get the maximum return. And then at some point, what are the options to make sure that money stays in Portage County? There was some announcements, Summit, and I think Collier County started a rent program as an example just options
Yeah.
that we need to keep current with.
Well, Jean, the county received a total of what, 4.8 million, and then the county, our specific allocation was what, 1.8?
Correct.
Okay.
It was 4.2, wasn't it?
I thought
That's
it was-
4.2, 1.8.
Oh, 4.2, okay.
Yeah, but the difference is distributed to all other government entities based on the local government fund formula, according
Yeah.
to the auditor. So at this point, she's taking care of that. All other government entities have to do the same thing we did, which is file their resolution. So I think she's tracking that, but I'll check with her just to make sure.
And then Jean, we have until what, October to utilize our share, and if not, they look at redistributing it?
Correct. We'd like to
Okay.
be in a position where we can get some of the redistribution money. And that happens until December 12th, I think it is. And then there's a turn back, which if we don't spend it by then, any money left collectively goes back to the state and then
And
ultimately
gets
back to the federal government.
redistributed in.
No,
it's my
actually turns back to the feds. Yeah.
thought
Redistribution is a very narrow window from like end of November, 2 or
To
3
December.
weeks into December.
Yeah, so it's my understanding, because I talked to Todd this morning, we are nowhere near utilizing our share of it. So yesterday it was brought up in our meeting, on our call, that we would start getting additional equipment and stuff just to prepare. I'm assuming that money will be utilized from this, or?
Correct. Correct.
Okay.
In essence, we're buying what we used. I would think that's very much eligible, but there was some new information that came out just on the 29th that now if employees normally, I'm just going to pick a topic, normally park cars, and all of a sudden they're cleaning outside glass to keep COVID.
You can bill them.
If they're exactly. So that may require us to back up and reestablish what people were doing on certain days and then split that. We'll have to figure that out. That's the reason this needs to be an ongoing working group and not a set time in our report. It'll be a.
Yeah, because it still seems like a lot of the guidelines are changing as we go along, so.
Absolutely.
All right, well, carry on with this, Jean, and we'll look forward to what the group finds and working with you on
We'll
this
continually provide updates.
process. Thank you.
Okay. The Board of Commissioners approves the June 25, 2020 regular meeting minutes.
Okay, I will second.
Roll call, Amy?
Vicky,
Yes.
Sabrina,
Yes.
Kathleen.
Yes.
The Board of Commissioners accepts the donations to the Office of the Portage County Dog Warden.
Okay, I will second.
Roll call, Amy?
Vicky,
Yes.
Sabrina,
Yes.
Kathleen.
Yes.
The Board of Commissioners agrees to appoint Richard Brockett to the Portage Area Regional Transit Authority Board of Trustees representing the northern section of Portage County.
Okay, I will second.
Roll call, Amy?
Vicky,
Yes.
Sabrina,
Yes.
Kathleen.
I'm gonna abstain.
The Board of Commissioners agrees to appoint Ann Briner Headington to the Portage County District Library Board of Trustees.
Okay, I will second.
Roll call, Amy?
Vicky,
Yes.
Sabrina,
Yes.
Kathleen.
Yes.
The Board of Commissioners approves the execution of an order and journal entry in the case of Township of Nelson and Board of Trustees of Nelson Township versus Director Jack Marchbank, Ohio Department of Transportation, et al. Portage County case number 2016 CV 00411.
Okay, I will second.
Roll call, Amy?
Vicky,
Yes.
Sabrina,
Yes.
Kathleen.
Yes. All right. Back to our executive session.
I move to enter into executive session under Ohio Revised Code 121.22 G1 to discuss compensation of a public employee.
Okay, I will second.
Roll call, Amy?
Vicky,
Yes.
Sabrina,
Yes.
Kathleen.
Yes.
I stopped it. Did it work? Okay.
It still says live on YouTube.
Hold on.